Hi there, folks. Sue Sutcliffe, webthatworks.com, and I'm here today to share with you how easy it is to create a Facebook group. So the very first thing I'm going to do is share my screen. Bear with me. I will do just that. So the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to log into Facebook. And when you log into Facebook, you should end up on this page here. And if you're already in Facebook, just click on Home. The very next thing you're going to do is you're going to go down here on your left-hand side where you see Groups. And you're going to click on Groups. And when you click on Groups, you're going to go to a screen like this. Now, you probably won't have all this because these are groups that I am a member of. But you should see just underneath the blue bar at the top a green button that says Create Group. So you're going to click on Create Group, and this pop-up will appear. And what it says is, gives you a spot to enter in the name of your group. So the group that I'm going to create today is Power, and Tribe, which a lot of people are doing these days. You may want to really give some thought as to a good name. Brainstorm a name that's going to be catchy. So for example, when I put up a group called Online Power, it didn't get a lot of attention. But when I added the word Get Online Power, all of a sudden it was. So this is an area, if you're struggling with that, you might want to connect with a wordsmith that can help you come up with those right words. So you name your group and then you add some people. It makes you add people. Now, I always add my husband, like I said in the last video, if you watch that, because it makes you add somebody and he knows I'm going to add him, and he just disregards it. So I added Jamie Sutcliffe, and now I get to choose what kind of option I'm going to do. So there are 3 types of groups, and by default it makes it a closed group, which means that anyone can find the group and see who's in it, but only members can only members can see who's in the group and what they post. The other option is you can use a public group. Public groups are very popular for tribe building. Okay, so if you're going to do a challenge, you want anybody and everyone to join. A public group is a good one. The other reason why you would want a public group versus a closed group or a private group is if your intention is to get people to share the content that's within the group, you need it to be public. So, for example, I have a group called Business Networking Events in Durham Region. And my goal with that is to share with my crew all the different events that come up. Now, if I have that as a public group, people can get that event that I share into it and share it elsewhere. However, if it was a closed group, they couldn't. So choose wisely. The other option, and this is the option I typically choose for family groups or coaching groups, like the one that I'm collecting today or setting up today, is called a secret group. Now, with a secret group, only members can find the group and who's in it and what they post. But it means that you can't ask people to join. You have to actually add them, and you don't want to add them without asking permission. Okay, so, but I'm going to choose secret group, and I think that's it for now, other than you can have the option of choosing pin it to shortcuts, which is just for your preference. It means that it'll be easy to find on the left-hand side when you log in to Facebook. So I'm going to select pin shortcuts and I'm going to say create. And when I do that, Facebook's doing its magic and we are about to see what it looks like. And it's saying, hey, Sue, only 10 pin groups are allowed. Obviously, I have that, so I'm not going to be able to choose that option. I just uncheck it and say create. And now it has created the group, and this is it. So you have, in fact, created a group. Now, you might be asking, why did I just add my husband to this group? Because is he in my coaching class? No, he's not in my coaching class, but he understands that Facebook won't let me just create a group with just myself. And I want to make sure I can get into this group and get it set up and ready for the guests before they come here. But I also, when someone's in the group, they're going to, by default, get notification of everything that you do. So I'm immediately going to go now to here to where it said members. And then it shows that he's a member. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to boot him out. So I'm going to remove him from the group. So I'm just going to say confirm. So basically, I've added the group with my husband, then I've booted him out. He understands because he knows me, he loves me, and that's good. So here we are in the group, and you think, okay, well, maybe I've done everything I can do, except for you really haven't. And that's not really that intuitive. So that's why I thought I'd do a video for it. So I'm in the group now, and I want to see what else I can do. So I'm going to click on here. You see where it says more? I'm going to click on more, and then I have the option of adding members, moderating the group, editing the group settings, archiving the group, pinning it to shortcuts. It probably still won't let me. Linking to an existing group, creating a new LinkedIn group, or creating a new group. What I'm going to click on is edit group settings, because when I edit group settings, it's going to give me a whole lot more options than it did when I created the group. It's just kind of crazy, but that's the way it is. So when I scroll down here, I can see what the options are. So you might want to follow along, and basically beside the group name that you selected, you have an option. Now by default, it shows a bunch of faces, but isn't it way more fun to create some sort of icon and pick an icon so that when it shows up here on the left-hand side, it can be something special? So in this particular group, I'm gonna put this pie chart because I think that's kind of cute and it's eye-catching. So I've made that. So when it appears over here on the left-hand side, it's going to appear with a pie chart. I also have the choice of a group type. Now there's several types, and they all come. They're like group templates. So you can choose from these, whichever ones you want. They all have different things, and you can play around with it. This is the time to do it before you invite anybody into your group, because what it'll do is it's going to put up messages, it's going to notify people. You want to play around. So for the purposes of this, I'm doing a class where I'm bringing people together. Now, I have my own system for sharing content. So I'm not going to use the units feature. Like if I did social learning, it would allow me to do units. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to say I'm creating a club of people that want to help each other grow, because really that's what we do with Online Power. I bring a group of businesses together that all have separate business types like BNI, and basically I show them how to dominate the digital, and they do a lot of networking within. So that's so I'm going to choose a club because I kind of like that one. But you can see that there's all sorts of different templates there, and you want to think that you might want to play around with it. There probably are 2 or 3 that you might like. I'm going to then click confirm. Now, depending on the template you chose, you're going to get different functionality over here on the left-hand side. So if you're not getting functionality that you were looking for, that maybe you've experienced in a different group, then what you'll need to do is go back and change the type to something else. Now, the next field down is description, and I'm going to say this is a private group that allows Online Power 2019-01-01-07 members to network and get support in their mission to, I'm going to put a hashtag in here, dominate, spell that, dominate the digital. And I mean, you can go into more there that you want, but I'm going to just put that down. You can note here that potential members see the description if the privacy is set to public or closed. However, because this is a private group, nobody will see it. It's only the members. Now, it allows you to do a location, and if you're trying to create a tribe, oftentimes location is a good thing. I mean, you want to create people around you. Well, it's a good idea to put in a location. In my case, I can do Online Power all over the world. So I'm not going to put in a location. Now, I have an option of putting in tags. Again, because this is a private group, it's only for some people I'm coaching. I'm not going to do this, but you might want to put in, if you're trying to build a tribe on a particular topic, you might want to put in some hashtags or some tags around that group. So let's say that you were a person that did, that you were doing, let's see, you were doing business coaching. So you might want to put in their business, small business, SME, small, medium-sized business, that kind of stuff. Now it says apps, and I'm going to add an app because I use BeLive to go live into groups. And so when I do that, it's an app that actually can go right into groups. So I'm just going to add that now. Don't worry about it if you don't have it. You can also do live video with the native tools that come with Facebook. And looks like Facebook's having a wee bit of a problem with that. So hopefully they'll figure out that problem really quick. Okay, so it comes here, and then these are, I'm going to just type in Be Live. That's the video program I use, and I'm going to say, yep, add it, and I'm going to click Add, and I'm going to say Done. And then the next thing down, it says linked pages. So give your business, brand, or organization a voice on Facebook and connect with the right people. Now, because this is a private group just for the people that are enrolled in this cohort, I'm not going to link it. But if I did, if this was maybe a group for VIPs, my clients, I might have it linked right to my page so that when, clients would know that they could go there and get that VIP treatment. It would make it easier for them to find. For me, and I don't want any linkages, you can link more than one page too. You can, so if you have multiple pages, you can link multiple ones to it. Now, my signature color is purple, so I'm immediately going to choose that color because I just like that color. It makes me feel good. Now, you get the option of choosing a web address. You see, none of this stuff is given to you when you set up a group, but it really can make a difference. So rather than having this big, long number here, let's make this something that makes sense. So I click here, and I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be online power 2019-0107. And I'm just going to say customize address, and it'll automatically customize it. So what it's done is it's basically, I now have a custom address, as you can see here, so that, so that people can find it pretty easily. Now, unfortunately, what happens is that I guess we've just discovered a bug with Facebook, because as a result of this, it's dropped the group name. So again, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to choose club, and I'm going to say confirm, and I'm going to say this is a private group for online power 2019-01-07. Only you can see it. See the members and what they type in this group. So I'm going to now, I'm skipping that. I've got that. I'm not going to link the page. I've got the web address. That's great. I really wish they hadn't kicked that out when they saved that. Now I could change the group right now. I think before it says membership approval, only admins and moderators can grab it. Well, yeah, it depends. For me, this is a private group, so I'm the only one. I only want to have people that I approve in there, so I'm going to take control of that. But by default, anybody can add people to your group, and I don't know that people know that necessarily. Chat creation, members, moderators, and admins, or only admins. Well, you know what? Only admins. In this particular idea, I think it's just kind of makes a lot of sense. For what I'm using it for, but if this was a family group, you may want to choose the other option. I guess it depends on who's in your family. Save time by pre-approving membership requests. So for example, this might be a really handy feature for you. If you have an existing group that is all your clients, and you decided that you wanted to create a group for the top 20% of your clients, maybe you're going to do a focus group on where you're going next year and how you can better serve them. Obviously, you want to deal with the top 20% of your clients because they're going to represent 80% of your income. So you might bring them together for a focus group. And so you could create a group and say, and you could automate it. So you could say that I'm going to pre-approve all the people in my VIP group. So if anybody, is in that group, they can automatically be a member of this group. Now, membership requests from pages. This is important and it's new. Facebook has just added the ability for pages to be a member of a group. Previous to this, it could only be people. Now, this is something that you have to decide as a group admin, because I usually choose don't allow pages to be groups, because ideally it means that you really don't know who you're dealing with if somebody comes in as a page. And I kind of like the idea of knowing and seeing a face, because when I'm networking with somebody, I want to see their face. I don't want to see their logo. But think about that, because there are different applications for that. Posting permissions, anyone in the group can post. Yeah, in this particular case, I'm going to say yes, and that's fine. And then posting approval. All group posts must be approved by an admin or a moderator. I'd say in some cases that would be really important, okay? For example, if you expect the larger a group is going to be, the more loud it's going to be. And so if you want to make sure that people don't turn off notifications because you're getting too much communication, you might say only admins can approve it. And then what you can do is then you can release them as you wish. So maybe one a day. Okay, so I'm going to say story is only admins, post approval, all groups must be approved. I'm not worried about this group. It's going to be a small group of people that are working together, so I'm good. And then it says story post approval. Photos and videos added to the group story must be approved by a admin or a moderator. And I'm going to say yes, because I really don't want the group to be used in that way. So I'm going to say fine. So when I say save, that saved all the options. And as you can see, there was a whole bunch of things there that we customized that Facebook you would have just got stuck with. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to upload a photo up here so that you're giving it a good brand. I'm going to click on upload photo, and I can choose something. I don't even know what I have here, so that's going to be interesting. Maybe I'll put up a picture of my last group, and I will try to customize this. So this is pictures of my last group, and they were fabulous. So I'm going to have to find another image to put up here, because obviously I don't have one of this image, so I will have to create one. But in the meantime, I'm going to hit save, and we'll call that a day. So the only thing I have to do really to finesse this is to come up with an image that will fit that size. So there's a couple different ways you can do that. Number one, you could grab, if you're in Windows, you could click on the Windows, use the snipping tool, okay? So it's called the snipping tool. It might be under your accessories. And what you can do is actually snip this tool. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to just click on the snipping tool. And then you can say new, and you can actually do this and say, okay, that's the size you want. Now that's one approach, but you know what? I'm not going to recommend you do that. I'm going to recommend that you go to and use a tool called Canva. So now that's a different video, but I should say a different video explaining how Canva works and all that. But you're going to want to create an image to fit in that. Now, if you don't know the size, or you have having trouble with that and you need to know the size, feel free to add a note in the comments, and I'd be happy to get you that size, the current size, because it does change on the dime. In fact, what you might want to do is Google Facebook group cover, and then put in the year that you're doing it, because it does change on an ongoing basis. And then at that point, you'll find the most current stats of what the sizes of the image that you need. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. It is on how to create a page. And you might also, one other note I would say is that you may want to coach people on notifications, because we all know that Facebook's not seeing all of our posts now. So if it's critical that they see it, you can see that the default is highlights only, which means that not everyone's going to see your posts. Even if they say all posts, they're not necessarily all going to see your posts. So if you want to make sure somebody's going to see what you put in here, you're going to want to tag them. But in the meantime, I'm going to put in all posts because I need that, and that is a wrap. So have a wonderful day. I'm going to just hit save. Hope you found it helpful. If you did, I'd love it if you'd add a comment in the comments below, or share it with a friend. If you want to find out more about how I can help you dominate the digital, by all means, head over to my website, www.suesutcliffe.com. Thank you. Bye for now.